Plus company. Growing up in the South, she understands that we are a society of overabundance of what not to eat. Throughout her life, she lived with migraines, sinus infections, and a lot of over-the-counter medications, doctor visits, and prescriptions. We can see why she wants to talk to Troy. Later in life, she was diagnosed with fibromyalgia and Raynaud's syndrome. Then about 8 years ago, while going through menopause, she lost half of her hair, developed a major debilitating pain in her joints, and endured major loss of muscle mass. She became lethargic and weak. After 2.5 years of testing, Miranda was diagnosed with RA and lupus. In the past 5 years, she has highly improved these severe health issues while getting off 8 medications. Because of this inspiring journey, she began to tell her story of healing and prevention, and her mission is to share hope by educating you with simple steps that could change your life. Her motto is, and everybody knows it, it's never too late to start getting healthy. Turn it over to you, Miranda.
Anyway, thanks for the introduction. I am going to share my screen and we'll get started here. I'm so excited. So let's get this party started. Make sure you're muted, of course, and I just want to thank you so much for attending today. Just a little bit, for those of you who may not know about Healthy MidSouth, it is a collaboration of a variety of health-related professions where our philosophy is to educate and provide simple steps and solutions to help direct people towards the right course for longevity, prevention, and healing. We engage with small groups such as Talk Shop, schools, churches, small businesses, and even corporations. Our services include workshops, seminars, panel discussions, as well as summits. Our mission is to inspire healthy behaviors from the home and into the workplace through a more holistic approach versus the old school of doing things. But we're looking to give you that approach for optimal overall well-being. Healthy MidSouth is my business where my team and I educate on health and wellness. Juice Plus, on the other hand, is my product line. It's simply fruits and veggies in a capsule along with our omegas and shakes where it makes it easy to implement good nutrition. We also have our amazing tower garden and aeroponic growing system, which makes a great partner to our nutritional line. Before we get started, I first want to say that being healthy is not just about nutrition. There are many areas in our life that we should understand that play an important role in being healthy. Here is a short list of some of those things. It's nutrition, mindfulness, physical health, movement, personal development, environment, relationships, spirituality, and career. And remember, this is just the short list. I wanted you to have this visual so that you can see that there are multiple areas in having a balanced life, and it's not just one. The balance is having the right proportion in each area to give yourself the elements we need for optimal longevity. And since this is March, I want to focus on nutrition, of course. I don't know about you, but I used to think about food all day, every day. I love my snacks, and I never met a chip I didn't like, and I love to get chip-faced. I don't know about you, but that is my nemesis. Combine an unhealthy diet with a toxic environment, my body finally said enough is enough. This is what led me to do what I do today. Right now in my life, I love to eat healthy, tasty, flavorful foods, so I guess you can call me a foodie. But what is interesting is it wasn't until several years ago that I really didn't know what food was. Most people wouldn't think walking into a grocery store, you would not have to watch out for hazard and warning signs on our so-called food. But in fact, the warning signs are right there in our faces on the packages, just camouflaged as monosodium glutamate, aka MSG, a common food additive that's used in most every foods. And today it's getting a little bit better in those areas. But there's also artificial flavoring and artificial coloring, sodium nitrate, high fructose corn syrup, artificial sweeteners, and that's just to name a few things. But that's so crazy, right? So do any of those ingredients I just mentioned sound nutritious to you? Of course not at all. So, what is nutrition and why do we need it? Well, by definition, it's the process of taking in food and using it for growth, metabolism, and repair. Then you think about when it's ingested, it is digested so that it can absorb into our body, where it then transports the nutrients. And this is the nutrients that, like protein, vitamins, phytonutrients, and minerals. This is assimilation, and then it's excreted. So this is the process how everything works in our body. So when you have that visual of how we put something in and it comes out, but it's absorbed within from all the nutrition that we put in, good or bad. Then you think about what it does for our body. So good nutrition, along with water, sunshine, and oxygen, gives us the substance we need to live. Good nutrition detoxifies, repairs, and prevents sickness and disease. It replenishes, it gives us energy, and it will affect our mood as well as our minds. I love this little graphic, this pigeon. Think about what they eat. I mean, they eat whatever's in the parking lot, right? So it could be nutritious, or it could be, French fries laying on the ground. But sometimes what we eat is about the same thing. It's just as nutritious as a French fry we find on the ground. But you have to remember, good nutrition feeds our organs, our brain, our nervous system, our gums, our blood, our health, our heart, and so much more. It even helps with weight loss. So what you put in does matter. So technically, we should eat to live, not live to eat. But how many of us really do that? How many of us love to just eat and don't care what it is? So let me just say this. For me, it was a culture change, but you don't know what you don't know. So how do we implement a healthy lifestyle? With so many gimmicks, there's hacks, there's fad diets. It can be so confusing, but in fact, it is so stinking simple to do. But did you know that at least 75% of all chronic disease is preventable? 1 in 3 live with some form of cardiovascular disease. 1 in 3 women will develop cancer, and 1 in 2 men will develop cancer. 1 in 3 people will develop diabetes by 2050. 1 in 3 is obese. And 116 plus million people are living with chronic pain, and it's increasing. The US national healthcare expenditures are approaching $3 trillion a year. And your insurance folks out there sure probably know more about that. And Tennessee is one of the top and healthiest cities in America. Let that sink in for just a minute. Now, let me ask you this. Who do you know that is on this list of statistics? I know I was, and I got to the point and I decided I wasn't going to accept it, and I had to change my direction. Is either get on a lot of medication, let that kill me, or do something about it so that I could live. And after doing so and getting off all my meds, I realized that in retrospect, it was so much easier than I could ever imagine. My biggest challenge was consistency. In order for anything to be positive, long-lasting, and a long-lasting change, consistency must be implemented, along with determination and accountability. I was in a very, very dark place. However, I decided I was willing to do just what I had to do, with the determination and the consistency, to thrive and not just survive. And this is what I do now, and I love it. I guess you could say it is my mission in life. Okay, a healthy diet is filled with good nutrition, and it's the first step to a lifestyle of vitality. And did you know that the recommended daily allowance of fruits and veggies for adults is 9 to 13 servings a day? A day. And if you work out, or an athlete, you need so much more. Oh my goodness, who does this? All right, how many servings did you eat yesterday? I'm calling you out in the chat. I want you to put how many servings of fruits and vegetables you ate yesterday. And this is a serving size, the size of your fist. So think about it. If we're supposed to have that many servings a day, every day, no wonder we have a chronically ill country. Then think about how many years we did not eat enough of the right food. And if we haven't been eating enough of the right food, over time, our body gradually is depleted from the nutrients it needs to protect itself. and to fight off sickness and disease, yet alone fuel our brains and vital organs. All right, the lack of nutrition affects both children and adults, the weekend warrior and the professional athletes, both men and women, even individuals that may eat healthy and of course that don't. So nutrition does not discriminate. Dr. Sears, America's pediatrician, once said, America doesn't have a vitamin deficiency, but a whole food deficiency. When I personally realized these facts and understood that my body was so deficient, it made sense to me to implement Juice Plus. With my capsules and shake every day, I'm flooding my body with a variety of over 30 different over 50 different plants every day. I know it is bridging the gap of what I do eat and what I should eat. But after realizing that whole food made a huge difference in my healing and recovery, I thought of how many people needed to comprehend this as well. Now check this out. Here's the secret sauce to good nutrition. All right, get your pen out. Everybody get your pen. I want you to write this down. Eat your fruits and veggies, people. Let me say that again. Eat your fruits and veggies. It's not rocket science, guys.
You're going too fast.
I'll repeat it one more time. Eat your fruits and veggies. That is the secret sauce. And think about this. The USDA recommends that we should eat half our plate with fruits and vegetables every day. The more organic, of course, is better, but don't overcook them. How many of us overcook those greens to where there's no nutrients left? In fact, we can eat them raw, and the more raw veggies and fruits that we can eat, the better. But think about this. This is more people what they, this is what most people think about. I'd rather be fat if I have to eat a salad. But the more fruits and veggies you start eating, your taste buds will begin to change. They really will. I can attest for that. And so can my husband. He used to never eat salads and now he loves them. But start with the fruits and vegetables that you do like. Eat those, eat more of those. Then start to incorporate those that you like a little less. Take a bite or two every day and you'll learn to like them or have a taste for them. Just be consistent and build a new habit to eat more fresh and healthy food versus what I call frankenfood. All right, now we want to touch on the rainbow. What is eating the rainbow? Eating the rainbow is eating the rainbow produce like red, orange, dark green vegetables, tomatoes, sweet potatoes, broccoli, along with other vegetables for your meals. You can add fresh fruit and as part of your main dish or even as a dessert or a side dish. But the bottom line is the more colorful your plate is, that means the more vitamins, minerals, and fiber your body needs to be healthy. And I'm talking about the whole food here. I'm not talking about processed food, packaged foods, or anything in cans or boxes. But the more fresh you can eat, the more vitamins and minerals your body's going to get. And by the way, frozen is pretty good because they usually pick that fresh, and when they package it, it's not pre-cooked and put in most of the cases. But also include legumes and whole grains. Now I want to touch on limiting your dairy and animal proteins. Personally, I would try to eliminate as much dairy as possible due to the inflammatory properties, with the exception of eggs. A lot of people don't realize that milk and cheese can be very detrimental to people with a lot of health issues. But if you're trying to have less joint pain, stuff like that, eliminate dairy as much as possible. And if you eat meat, keep them really, really lean and clean as possible as well. Okay, bottom line, we want to be wise. Choose what is best. Be intentional in all your choices. And remember, a healthy, nutritious diet will feed your body with the right fuel. And this is just the first step to a healthy lifestyle. All right, I want to mention that good nutrition can really improve, it can reduce your risk to some diseases, including heart disease, diabetes, stroke, some cancers, osteoporosis. Good nutrition reduces high blood pressure. It lowers high cholesterol. It improves your well-being. It also improves your ability to fight off illness. And it also improves your ability to recover from illness and injury. It also increases your energy level. How many of you have ever eaten junk food and felt very sluggish after you've eaten? I mean, I know I have. And if you don't eat that kind of stuff and then you do eat it, you can feel it immediately. So when we start implementing good foods, it's amazing how the good nutritious food is incorporated. It starts to change your sleep habits. It starts to change your reflexes. It also changes how you react, your mood. We talk about brain fog. And you want to make sure that you implement the good things. So be sure to get good sleep, hydration, exercise, meditation, mindfulness, learning to properly breathe. That's a big deal. And let's not forget laughter. I love to laugh. That's why I married my husband. I tell him all the time that I married him because he makes me laugh. But it's my favorite thing is to find ways to laugh every day. But incorporate these things along with that list, that balanced list that I mentioned at the beginning. Take these steps and you will give your body the means for longevity. If you find it really hard, how many of you tend to not want to change? I mean, literally, sometimes we don't want to change. Dadgummit, I want to eat my Cheetos. I mean, I grew up eating Cheetos, cheese sandwiches, box mac and cheese. Heck, I would eat a box of mac and cheese almost every day after school. That was my afternoon snack. That's horrible. I mean, it's all fake food. But how many of you find it hard to change? Well, if you do, I'm just going to offer this. If you find it hard to consistently incorporate good nutrition on a daily basis, connect with me afterwards to set up a free 30-minute consultation, and I will help you lay out a simple plan to jumpstart your journey. I know I kind of ran through this kind of quick. I didn't know how much time we had, but I wanted to open it up for Q&A. So does anyone have any questions or anything? I do want to reiterate, eat your fruits and veggies. It's that simple. It is so simple.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is almond milk okay? My daughter's been telling me about almond milk. Is
Mhm.
that okay?
Yeah, almond milk is fine. In fact, that's what I drink. When you're drinking different milks like that, the almond milk, walnut milk is really, really good. It's so healthy because you think about walnuts is so good for the brain. But even goat's milk is better than cow's milk.
I'm going to go
But,
in just a
but
minute.
I choose plant-based milk.
Miranda, this is Troy. You know, I'm going to have a question. We have been enjoying avocados when my wife mixes them up, but also comes with, as you say, chip face. But we've been really eating a lot that had, you know, all natural, like bean parts of the chip, etc. You got any special recommendations on chips that you recommend? But we've been probably 3 or 4 times a week before we actually have dinner, having guacamole. And we've really enjoyed that. Any particular suggestions to avoid chip face, as you say?
I love guacamole. I eat it all the time. It's like one of my, I make it all the time. But if you choose to eat chips, because I still eat chips, I try to pick things that are a little healthier. They're still processed. So I try to limit my processed food, but that's one of my guilty pleasures is chips. But there's a I think it's something I cannot believe I forgot. It's in a brown bag. I get it from Costco. It's huge. And it's quinoa and flax, and it's a mixture of other chips, but it's a great replacement for regular corn chips. And then, of course, if you are open to veggies, you know, cut up your veggies, such as your bell peppers. You can get the colorful peppers. When you have pretty food, it's more enticing to eat that. And then you can cut the bell peppers up into, you know how you can cut it up? You can cut it more like in a square to where it's more of a dipping style. So it's really good as well. And you can do carrots and celery and cucumbers. Other veggies are really good. I tell you what, if you cut squash up somewhat thin, because squash don't have a lot of flavor, so you're actually eating the flavor of the guacamole, but you got like a dipping mechanism as well. But yeah, there's alternative, healthier choices when it comes to chips out there. Like I said, they're still processed, so keep that in mind. You don't want to eat the whole bag, which can be easy to do, but try to limit that as well.
Miranda, do you have recommendations on the timing of eating, like the last time of day you should eat or anything like that?
Sure. You know, how many of you heard of intermittent fasting? I mean, it's kind of a fad, you know, everything goes and flows, and it's been around a very long time. But if you actually if you eat before 6 o'clock every night, that goes to the, what's that word? Circadian, the rhythm of the earth and how that all goes. There's a thing with that balancing our body, but eating before 6 helps your body because you want your body to have time for rest. And you'd be surprised that people that even do that alone will start losing weight just from that, because they're giving their body time to heal and your digestive system to start clearing out. And then if you can wait to eat a late breakfast, you're giving your body easily 12 to 15 hours before a meal. And so that's a natural, easy way to intermittent fasting without having to make a big deal out of it and change major habits. So just eat your breakfast a little late and eat before 6, and that gives your body a lot more time. And that is a simple way to do that. But yes, there is a thing about eating before 6.
Good morning, Miranda. This is Bill Emmerling.
Hey,
When I think of healthy restaurants, I'm thinking of Jason's Deli, Taziki's, that type of thing, a Mediterranean salad bars or what have you. Are there any secrets out there that I'm not aware of? Are there healthier restaurants than others?
Oh, there's quite a few. In fact, get with me and I can give you a list of those out there. But keep in mind, when you go to a restaurant, most restaurants, I'm not saying all, usually have healthy alternatives. But if they've got something close to what you're looking for, many times you can ask them to replace certain things. Like there's certain salads I love. I don't eat pork at all. And so I will ask them to replace it with eggs or things like that. But I tell you who makes really good salads. I haven't been there in a while because of COVID, but Hickory Tavern, they've got these whole lists where you can build your own salad, and there's so many choices. They get all these different nut choices and protein choices. So it's a really good place too. But there's some healthy restaurants out there like, oh my gosh, what's the one on Sanderland? I go there all the time. I just totally left my brain. But it's really, really good. I've got a list. In fact, I can send you guys.
Okay.
Hey, Miranda, this is Troy again. You know, one of the great snack foods I have on my way to the golf course is stopping by Aldi's and getting these small peppers. They're yellow and red and occasional brown, little small peppers. Just wash them down, then start eating them. It's amazing how almost every day I'll stop by and get a bag, and by the end of the golf round, I've eaten every single one of those little peppers, but it feels a lot more energy rather than going to the golf course and, you know, eating a sandwich or so on. I feel more energetic just eating those peppers. And they're about $3 a bag or something, but boy, are they delicious.
Mm-hmm. And you know, that's a good point. There's a lot of healthy snacks out there. And if you're not used to eating those things that are more on the healthy side, like I said, just when you have the opportunity, take a bite or two. It's called muscle memory, which you guys may have heard of that, but your brain does that with food. Babies, if you, I know Dr. Sears, what he does with all the infants for his moms, when they're like 4 or 5 months old, he has them pour our Juice Plus capsules in it because it's just pure plant food, or plant powders. And he has the mom touch touch that powder and put it on their tongues. So by the time that they get to eating regular food, they're wanting raw fruits and vegetables, and they're eating their fruits and vegetables because their brain is telling them, this is what I want. And your body craves the things that it needs. So when you're having a craving, it's because it's in its lack of something. But we usually go to the things that is unhealthy because that's the only thing that we know to reach for. So
Okay.
when we train our brain to think, oh, I want a certain food, or I want like something crunchy, a lot of times just eating a piece of celery or an apple, or, you know, just that satisfies. So there's some science behind that muscle memory as well.